Morning everybody in the internet world. Mobile here, how are you doing? Hope you're okay. I am going to do a short instructional video this morning just about completely refurbing this will be an Allett Kensington, and just some of the things you can do to spruce up your own mower, or if you're thinking of getting into what I do, buying and selling, then buying and refurbishing and then selling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this mower here. So it's an Allett Kensington 14E, right? And it looks a bit sad, right? There's one broken part on it, but basically it's looking a bit tired. The steel zinc roller is looking used, shall we say. The tines at the back are looking used as well, tired. The whole cassette, you can see there's some rusting. So these things angle the grass that you've just cut into the box, so they're quite handy. But yeah, this is tired. You can see it's tired here as well. And the cassette itself has got paint missing, so that is all going to be stripped off, wire brushed, and repainted. So yeah, over a period of a few days, I'm going to basically get that looking absolutely spanking. Maybe Mr. Bill Rowell has done us a favour here, because you'll be able to see exactly what it looks like underneath. Look at the difference in the colour. I'm hoping that's coming out in the camera, but that's wholly different. And the whole mower is going to be like that. My friend with this is this boy, WD-40. I buy this in the 5-gallon load and just basically fill up that, because it's a lot easier spraying. So basically I will spray that like that. That picks up all the dirt. You can still see that, but if I then just get one of these, okay, you can see already that is starting to look better. And what I'll do next is I'll get the old blue roll, excuse my wavy camera work, give it a wipe down, and that is just wholly different already. Okay, with the plastic again, the WD-40. Look at that. So already we're starting to get some progress. The black plastic will work as well. I might get a blower on this, because you do get bits of grass down these inlets here. But I'll basically do the whole mower. But the key thing here, and I want to do, is actually these grass tines and what difference it makes, because that's the new ones I've just put on this beautiful Kensington here, which has obviously got the groove roller, but they look absolutely fantastic because they're brand new. There's 45 tines there, and the 14-inch mowers take a 35 of them. So I'll show you what I do to put those on. I've done videos on how to spruce that up, so that's not a big deal. You can refer back to those if you like. And basically, yeah, so my boy's going to be filming over the next day or so, just getting bit by bit getting this done. So if I wasn't filming, I'd probably crack this out in about an hour and a half, basically. So watch this space. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to whip out the cassette. So you need a 5mm hex. They're pretty easy to get hold of. and we're going to take out this bolt and this bolt, and then there's 4 on the outer casing here, which I've already done, so you're going to take that off the side, and then you're going to take these 2 out, and then it's just a case of securing yourself and then lifting out, and sometimes these don't want to come off, so on the right hand. Gosh, that is not moving. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to just tease it a little bit with, I'll use a flat blade here. Be careful with the paintwork. That just tends to just ease it a little bit. It's just moving slightly. Be very careful with that paintwork. Okay. Sometimes it gets a bit tight at the side as well. So these things always happen on instructional videos, as Mick will tell you. That is just not at all. Right, so I'm going to pause it for a sec. Okay, so I committed a schoolboy error there, but with these electric ones I forgot they're not a cog, white plastic cog, they are this, so I basically need to also take off these 3 here. Sorry if I get my angles wrong. Just take those out and it will just whip out. So it wasn't stuck, it was my error, hey ho. So that is now off, with a bit of brute force and a bit of stopping it. So here we go. Just give it a quick clean underneath as well, side, just to so that's all clean, and what I'll do is for the purpose of this particular one, I'm just going to drop it in. I'm going to drop in a 6 blade that I've already done. That's nice and sharp, and you'll see what it looks like. But these mowers have a 5 blade in them, so this won't be staying in there. But I'll just do it so it speeds up the video. Okay, so what we need next is this is an impact. I've got a 13mm socket on there, and I'm going to take the front roller off. Keep these screws. I screw them back on. I don't know what it come off first time. So there's your roller. I screw that straight back on. It actually does need some washers on there, but for some reason they've gone. But so this will be refurbished. Okay, so as per the videos I've done in the past, that will be sanded down, probably something like a 120 sander, not an 80. 80 is probably a bit coarse, but it needs something so you can see the sort of rusting appearing on there. And we aren't going to sand it and get it back to where it was, so we're going to use steel zinc spray on there. We'll put 4 coats on there. And what I tend to do is when I'm selling mowers, I then put a cloth, wrap a cloth around, tape it so that when that arrives the other end, it's not been dragged across loads of tarmac and scraped. So that's now off, which is great. Put that on the side. The next thing we want off is this grass comb, because the grass comb, it's not bad, but what I've got is I've got these tines. So these tines will be going on instead of those. So I don't know whether you can get a colour match there, but basically it will look a lot better. I'll do a close-up in a second of that. But anyway, so we are going to same 13mm. That one has got a washer on it. Those two are off, so those two hold. There's a curve on this holding unit here. There's a curved slot, and basically you can move the grass comb up and down. So now we've got the grass comb off. I'll put those screws. I'll just put those screws back in so they are not lost. Okay. And you'll see there and the tines compared to the tine that I'm going to use. So that would be a bit. This whole holder unit is starting to get some flaky paint there. Can you see that? So this really does need sanding down, priming, and then respraying with black. Black metal spray. So this, the way we take this roll off, so you've got to remember that in this corner there's a cylindrical disc, whereas the other side hasn't. So as we're going forward, and I'm not sure where, so as we're going forward in the video, this is always on the right hand side down here. Okay, so just remember that for when we're putting it all back together again. But what we've got is we've got a 10mm bolt on there on either side. So here's your 10mm on there. Again, going in reverse. Careful not to lose there, and that comes off there. Other side. Sometimes these just spin, so it's a bit tricky, but basically we're just going to take this off. We're going to take it off, and I'll show you what it looks like underneath. So that is now done, and this thing then, with a bit of luck, just comes out like that, right? And the tines will slide off. So you got to remember which way the longer of the tine is, because these things have got a short and a long, so that the long side and the short side, obviously the long one is the one that's going to go down, the shorter side is the one that gets held by the machine. So this is the right hand side that we were talking about earlier, the cylindrical thing. The longer part is to the right of this. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to strip off all these into a holder, and literally I'll turn it upside down and then just slide it. Now this underneath can sometimes be really worn out, degraded, so it might need sanding and spray, you know, the whole sand, prime and spray situation. This one's not too bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to the last one just to make sure I get the right one, and then I know the longer one is here, so I've got the longer one ready to go on. So when this drops off down there, I'm going to slide back up the longer one up towards the cylindrical thing. Make sure I've got that right. Yes, I've got it right. And then I'm going to put 34 more on this one. And when I've done that, I shall start again. So there you go, all 35 on there, all poking in the right direction. And I now need to fit it. So basically it's channeling it into the holder there, which I can't do this I can't do this on video, so I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's finished. So fitted and in, so these tines now don't sort of revolve around, they're kept in place, because obviously as you move forward it's going to comb the grass like that. Okay, that's what that looks like, and that will basically fit back on there. with the roller that I'm about to do, and you'll see what a difference it makes. Okay, so I've provisionally fitted that back on. I've kept the bolts loose at the minute because as you'll see here, this is where the front roller goes in, and this holder needs to be in line with the hole. So if you bolt this up tight, you ain't gonna be able to move this in place. Okay, so attempt to do this. Excuse my fingers. So take the screws off, because the screws are going to come out the side. I'm going to lift this up. It's going to go in. You can see it all moving about. I need to line the screws up in the holes. Just lightly put it in. It will take. That's one side. The other side. Right, so it's all together now. As they say, grass comb. I'll just get a bit closer on that actually, because that's a good one, good angle. But you can see how the grass comb, you can move down and up. So moving lower, obviously, if your cutting height is higher, and as your cutting height lowers, you can just slightly undo those screws and then put it back up there. So I'm going to leave it high actually, but then I'm just going to get the 13mm back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that already is looking totally different. Just drop the blade in, and there you see it. There you see it. So look at that. That grass comb looks absolutely fantastic, with the front roller done, new blade dropped in. I've got really bad sun on it, but you can see just the WD-40 has made a huge difference. You can, on the plastic and on the metal, prepare it and then use clear lacquer if you like. I sometimes do when the paintwork's looking really sun bleached, and it brings it back up just after a little wet and dry. But overall, very pleased with that. So yeah, that's it from an episode of Mower Boy Does Bits on his mowers. Ask any questions you like in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Thanks very much. All the best.